Greetings YouTube, I am the Ninja Announcer from Sombrero, and today I'm going to be bringing you a Heraldic Beast deck profile. I've had this deck for a very long time. It's the first competitive deck I ever picked up. I say competitive because it's decent. It was decent at the time. It's never been meta, and I think it won a regional once. But yeah, it's the first proper deck. Like before I was playing things like 80 card random this card looks good decks, you know, but yeah, it's because I started playing this deck and playing the game properly at just after or just about when the baby dragon rulers got banned. So dragon rulers was still a big thing, so that made this deck pretty decent because it has a good matchup against anything that relies on XEs. The issue is at the moment it's not outpaced by Satellas, but they're just a better deck, so even though it's got a decent matchup against them, it's not really competitive, and they are probably going to get completely destroyed by the ban list anyway. So yeah, I've got a new camera angle, so hopefully you'll be able to see better than my previous videos, or video, seeing as this channel's only had one video so far, but whatever. Got 3 Heraldric Beast Leo. Main card of the deck, he's the searcher. Whenever he hits the graveyard, anytime, he searches out another Heraldic Beast. The main issue is he can only use the effect once per turn. Also, he's got 2000 attack and 1000 defense, level 4. Obviously it's level 4 because this is a rank 4 spam deck. And during the turn he's normal summoned, he destroys himself at the end phase, so not too great. But you rarely normal summon him. 2000 attack's nice though. Then 3 Heraldic Beast Amphisbaena. Not sure how to say that. Anyway, it's the other main card of the deck. You can special summon it by discarding another Heraldic Beast, usually Leo. Easy way to get an instant rank 4 out by discarding Leo, special summoning, searching one of these, normal, and then you get an instant XEs. Could be a Chidori. I don't have a Chidori, but yeah. Also, you can discard a Heraldic Beast card and increase his attack by 800 until the end of the turn. So he's good for getting over things because he can go up to 2500 with that. It was a nice out to the Ginlock when the Ginlock was still a thing. So yeah, 3 of him makes the deck quite a lot faster. He's one of the new cards. Then 3 Aberconway because you need 2 to activate the effect, and it's just another. It's a name. Its recycling effect's really good because his effect is you can banish another one in the graveyard, so you have to have 2 in the graveyard. Banish one of them and add a Heraldic Beast from the graveyard to your hand. So you add back a Leo, discard it with Amphisbaena, special summon, search, and stuff like that. Or you can add back an Amphisbaena, whatever. So yeah. 2 Heraldic Beast Unicorn. I would run 3. I don't have a third. And I've never needed a third. It would be better, but I've never needed it. I can survive with 2. So its effect is you can banish it from the graveyard, target a psychic type XE's monster in the graveyard, special summon it, its effects are negated, and you can only use its effect once per turn. So I think you can only use each of their effects once per turn apart from Amphisbaena. Well, yeah, I mean, you can only once per turn do the discard thing, but you can special summon as many of him as you like. So he's Unicorn's just, it's there to loop the new XEs. This card, I'll get to that later, but yeah, I would run 3, but don't need to. And 2 is fine. Then 1 Eagle. I was running 2 at before, just as an extra name, but now Amphisbaena's out. You only need the one. It's a good card, but no more than one is needed. And then that's that for the Heraldic Beast monsters, and then we've got 3 Kagetokage, because I think the first turn Xyz in this deck is very important. It's essential, really, to get the ball rolling, and that just helps. And of course it's searchable by King of the Feral Imps, though ordinarily you'd go into number 18 instead of King of the Feral Imps given the choice, but it's a nice option to have just in case. And 2 Summoner Monks, because you run lots of spell cards in the graveyard stuff, and there are a lot of revival stuff, so they can be dead a lot of the time, and helps with the first turn Xyz, gets Leo out of the deck if you don't have him. I think I would run some Mathematicians or Dust Knights if I had them instead. Maybe keep 1 Summoner Monk in, but yeah, that's why I have that. It just helps. Now for spells, we've got 3 Advanced Heraldry Art. Best cards, I mean, actual best card, like Leo's the best monster, but this is the best card. You target 2 Heraldic Beast monsters in your graveyard, special summon both these targets. Immediately after this card resolves, Xyz summon 1 Xyz monster using those 2 monsters only. So it's an instant Xyz, so it allows you, and you can activate as many of them in a turn as you like, and it allows you just to spam the field completely with Xyz, so yeah. 2 Heraldry Reborn. It's essentially a monster reborn for Heraldic Beast cards only, and in your graveyard. I don't run 3, because at a time it was cloggy. I mean, I could get around that with Summoner Monk, but since taking out the 3rd one, I've never had any problems with just the 2. And it's not nearly as good, and I would rather run the 1 Soul Charge I'm running than a 3rd Reborn, so that's that. 2 Supply Squad, because the deck massively overextends a lot of the time. I mean, that might just be my playstyle, but it massively overextends and leaves you with no hand, so if they do something to your hand, it's often devastating, and there's not much you can top deck into, so Supply Squad just helps remove that. 2 MST, self-explanatory. I'm running the rank up version, sort of. It's not a pure rank up build, but I have the 2 rank up magic Barian's forces. In my opinion, for a rank 4 deck, it's the best rank up card, because you can go into you don't have to be stuck with the same type of monster, so you can go into cards like Giant Red Hand, or number 69, Heraldry Crest of Horror, because even if you don't have the right type of monster out. So I think, despite limiting it to only rank 4 Xyz and number C monsters that you can rank up into, it's the best because it doesn't limit you in any other way. So I could potentially rank up a King of the Feral Imps into anything I like, and that just works really well for me. And I've got 1 Burial from a Different Dimension. Helps loop a lot of the graveyard stuff, because they Aberconway, Eagle and Unicorn all banish from the graveyard, so helps you reuse their effects. 1 Soul Charge, as I said, I'd rather have that than the extra Reborn. It's like another Advanced Heraldry Art. Obviously you can't go into your battle phase and it costs the life points, but you can go into far more cards at once, and it's just really perfect for the deck. And it helps you go into the 3 level 4 rank 4s, because I only have 1 of them, but it helps with that, and a Foolish Burial, because you need the graveyard set up, so it just helps with that. So that's the spells. And for the traps, I've got 3 Call of the Haunted, because it's fun to punish blind MSTing, because if they MST it and you chain it, special summon Leo hits the grave, you get a search, so good for you, they've wasted an MST. Also, it works with Dimension Slice, because special summon in your opponent's turn, banish one of those. So I've got the 2 Dimension Slice. If you don't know what that does, when a monster or monsters is special summoned to your side of the field, target one face-up monster your opponent controls, banish that target. If the monster summon is an XZ summon, you can activate this card in the turn it was set, and seeing as I'm just spamming out XZs every turn, it works quite well. I would run 3, but don't have 3. So it works well with Call of the Haunted. 2 Mind Crush, because discarding a card is a minimal cost in this deck, because it uses the graveyard so well. So as long as you don't end up discarding one of your spells, you're fine. Again, probably would. Okay, so the camera just decided to stop working on me for a second. And then I ran out of memory, so I had to do stuff. So anyway, as I was saying, I was explaining how to use Patriarch. So you send these 2, search your monster, and then next turn you can use Unicorn, summon again, gets destroyed, and you keep on looping this combo. And if you've already used Leo's effect that turn, you'd probably want to be sending an Aberconway, and then you can recycle Leo, and yeah, so that's how that card works. So then we got on King of the Feral Imps, because I'm running Kagetokage, getting a search for it. You can easily detach a Leo, then you get to search the Kagetokage and a Heraldic Beast, so +2, which is just really nice, so I like to have that in there. Then Ragnar Zero, pretty good card. Karen Gorgon, one of my favourite cards. Retargeting can be so funny when they don't know you can do it. Number 8, Heraldic King Genome Heritage. So this is an archetype specific card. It requires 2 level 4 Heraldic Beasts. Once per turn, you can target one face-up XYZ monster your opponent controls. This card's name and original attack become that monster's name and current attack, and this card's effect becomes that monster's original effect. Then that monster's attack becomes 0, and its effects are negated. These changes last until the end phase. So it's fun, because anything, like when Dragon Rulers were a big thing, you could steal their big eye, and that was funny. Get around Dracosac. It was just brilliant. The issue is, it doesn't tend to stay around for more than 1 turn, which is a bit annoying. But it just gets round any big XZs easily. Now that XZs aren't such a big thing, it's and the game's so fast paced that you probably won't have time to summon it. It's annoying, but it gets used sometimes, and it's decent. 2400 attack's not bad, so yeah. Number 104. I'm on and off running C104, and in fact number 104, but I really like this card. It's been one of my all-time favourites since I got it. In fact, it requires 3 level 4s, which is kind of annoying because it's such a good card. During either player's battle phase, when an opponent's monster effect is activated, you can detach 1 XYZ material from this card, negate the activation, and if you do, inflict 800 damage to your opponent. Once per turn, you can send the top card of your opponent's deck to the graveyard. So, sending the top card's kind of meh, because most decks like having their stuff sent to the graveyard. So that's kind of not very good, but it's so good against something that floats, I suppose. So Yangzing, BA and Shadows, you attack into them. I think that works, yeah. You attack into them, their effect activates, you negate it, and they get burnt. And then you got, when the Blue Eyes deck was quite big, that was so funny. They summon their Maiden with Eyes of Blue in attack mode. You attack they're like, I activate, and no you don't, and negate, and burn them, and then they take more damage, and they don't get their blue eyes, which was just plain funny. It's just a fun card tech, and the C version, which I don't have in the deck at the moment, I'll show you what it does as well. It's just completely broken if you can get it out. It's just ridiculous. Then we got a Kagetokage Samurai, generic Blade Armor Ninja, with 1900 attack instead. 1 Rhapsody in Berserk, and 1 Burner Visor, because you're getting out so many XCs in one turn, it's kind of useful having these equipped ones. So, quite good combo is equipping Rhapsody to Samurai. Then you get, instead of just the 2 1900 attacks, you get the 3100, and then you can make him attack directly, which is great. And Rhapsody is also good for like banishing Valkyries and stuff from your opponent's graveyard. Kagetokage Cowboy, self-explanatory. Abyss Dweller, bit of stun. Then the rank 5s, we've got C101 Ragnafinity. I can't decide whether to run C104 or C103. I'm running 103 at the moment because I am. Number 69, Heraldry Crest of Horror. I don't go into this so much, but it's really good. Like 4000 attack and sort of mirror force, except better. I mean, like when your opponent attacks, declares an attack, destroy all cards your opponent controls. Its second effect, you can't really use in this deck because I don't run the normal Heraldry Crest because 3 XEs and it's not a brilliant effect, but the second effect is good. I won't go into it, but so yeah, that's also out towers, which is always useful. And C106, probably the card I use most. So, the interesting thing about this number C is that it doesn't require its ordinary version. It only requires attached to it. It only requires any number monster attached to it. And then it gains the effect once per turn during either player's turn. When a card or effect is activated on the field, detach 1 XYZ material from this card, and if you do, negate the effects of all other face-up cards currently on the field until the end of this turn. The annoying thing is, it's a compulsory effect, and obviously it negates things like your supply squads and stuff. I'm not sure what happens. I think if Call of the Haunted's on the field, your monster will still stay. I've never really been in a situation where it would be a problem. If you know how that works, feel free to comment. So yeah, I don't go into the rank 5s very often, but when I do, they're usually quite useful. And 104 is its effect is when it's special summoned, it destroys a spell or trap card on the field, or yeah. And when monster effect your opponent activates a monster effect, I think it is, detach a material and negate it and halve their life points, which is just amazing. It's 3000 attack, so that's not bad. Like, so I think what I'd change if I got the cards is I want to run the rank up the 7th one in this deck and have a 101 and a C101 because that's a really good combo. Because C101 is just an amazing card. And I've got 103 and 104 as well in this deck, so those would all be special summon options for the rank 7th one. But I don't have a 101 because it's an expensive card. It's just stupid, even though it's been reprinted a couple of times, I think. Chidori would be good, and I think I'm going to get Castelton at some point. But yes, so that's the deck. Think you know the drill. Like, if you have some constructive advice or just want to tell me how awesome I am, comment down below. And subscribe for more videos. I do intend to post more than I have done so far, more regularly. So, yeah. Okay, thanks for watching. Ninja in a sombrero. Goodbye. So this is going to be a sort of side mini-series I'm going to have at the end of each of my videos, where I get one of my fake cards. They're not fake, they're completely legitimate cards, and sort of read it out, sort of to show you how funny some of them are. So today's card is going to be Apparitor of Black Mage. Obviously, what's the guy from the structure deck? I forget his name. Anyway, so he's a level 7 dark spellcaster effect, and his effect reads: the card cannot be commonly summoned, and only can be specially summoned at the occasion that only one black mage exists in your own field as a sacrifice. As long as the side table indicates the existence of the card, it can give the opposite side the damage of 1000 points of the basic points every time both players launch the general magic.